Previously on Survivor Michigan.
Sam concocted a plan to flip the game on its head by telling Maggie and Lucy that Jack had two idols.
Jack has two idols.
Two idols?
After discovering Sam's plan, Sarah and Mike teamed up with Sam and Maggie, and the blind side of Jack appeared imminent.
We're walking back, and I started to think, we might want to save Jack.
However, at the 11th hour, Mike convinced Sarah to warn Jack, which led him to play his first idol, sending Sam home and destroying any last remnants of Ohana loyalty in the process. Only 7 players remain, who will be voted out tonight.
I don't tell anybody everything. It's a Survivor.
I know, but that's a reason to get rid of you.
Yeah.
Don't act like it's not.
It's not. I mean, I respect it. I'm not mad.
You should respect it.
I respect it a lot, and now you're going to go home next week.
Alright. Unless I win immunity, which you haven't done. Ho ho ho.
Well, I have another idol, so I'll be safe either way.
I guess, unless the next week happens and then you don't win immunity and then we vote you out. Because you were voted most likely to win Survivor. And if anyone in this room is smart, they're not going to let you make it all the way.
Yeah, well, you were voted the one who thinks you control the game or not, so.
How are you controlling the game?
I didn't say no.
So?
I'm done.
I have no real reaction to that trial other than I need the spears. Fuck. I gave Scalia, I'm gonna die. I gave the most cockiest confessional today. I was just laying out how I had so many different paths to victory.
Maggie was yelling at Jack, and I was like, Nick, go in! Maggie, do it! Because she was just taking the target off my back. Her target was going like this, while mine was going like this, and so I was just like, ah!
Now I realize why, I don't know. But hey, at least I'm still in it. Sam can't say the same.
I think it was the best move for me. I know some people don't think the same way as I do, so they think it's irrational and dumb or whatever, but I know exactly why I make every single move and I can justify every single one. Was Lucy really gonna be with us?
It didn't matter, because why would it matter?
Because she would plan something with Sam.
Okay.
And I was scared that you would go along with that. With Nick.
Sarah.
I don't know.
This just, I just hope you know how much
Jack.
this not just, then you should have told me about the Sam thing.
I wanted to, but then I didn't want you to freak out.
That's what I'm saying is, you, and, this is a great move on your part. I'll give it to you. But, you not only fucked over my relationship with Jack, you got rid of Sam and you didn't tell me about it, so you fucked over your relationship with me.
At this point, fuck Sarah X. She fucked my game. Great move on her part, honestly, but yeah, like I said, she's definitely not getting a vote from me.
Just tell me you're gonna vote for me next week. Be honest, I know that was part of your plan. I need you to be straight up with me now and stop being fake.
I mean, yeah, it would probably be you or Nick.
Damn.
And I'm really sad because yesterday was so real for me. and it just did a complete 180 today.
I took a lot of guts bringing that information to you.
I know.
And that's how the favor gets returned. That's like really amazing to me. Like that took a lot, Sarah.
I know, I didn't want to do it for like the longest time.
Like, did you not
but, like, I
think
can't
about
trust
that?
Lucy, I can't trust Nick, and I can't trust
You think-
Sam. Sam would have started scheming against me. I mean, Maggie's not someone you don't want to have not on your side, in my opinion. I don't think she has much she can do because Mallory's very loyal, Mike's very loyal, Lucy's just really confused, but I think I pulled her in yesterday.
I need to call Jack.
What are you gonna call him about?
Just to apologize. Like, as a person, not as a player. Like,
Hey, I just wanted to call. I know you're really pissed at me. I just wanted to call and apologize as a person because I feel really bad about what happened and I said a lot of rude things that I didn't mean to say. And I know that this, whatever it was, is probably just done, which is fine. It's okay, I understand it. But as a person, I'm really sorry, okay?
I'm sorry too. Thank you for saying that. I'm sorry for getting so pissy afterwards. It's a shock when you hear these things that people are going against you. But
I'm shocked to hear that. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Just really emotional.
It's okay. She is not going out without a fight, and I really respect that.
If I'm going home, I'm definitely going out with a lot of drama and character like I have had on the show.
I was initially we were all pretty set in our ways to blindside Jack. It kind of seems like he's been a target because he's such a dangerous player and he knows the game so well. But it really made sense to me to go for Sam instead and have Jack as a reliable ally, given that he has 2 idols to play, and I think will vote with us from this point on.
I think we actually more wanted to get Nick, but it felt like kind of like an easy person to get. Sam felt the most connected. He felt like he was, really connected to Lucy, obviously Maggie.
I think it's like, in the end, it made sense because me, Sam, Maggie, and Lucy were all going to team up and like take them out if they got rid of Jack. So I guess it does work for their game, but it also is just Jack's like now just still a big threat.
Lying and being so annoying. I'm getting so annoyed at everyone. Like I talk to people and then I think like one thing and I'm so confused and like I don't know, I want to believe people but then you can't. And it's taking so much time and it's so stressful. It's actually like insane. Okay, guys, Mallory bought me ice cream. She needed ice cream. I've been having a week. Yeah. And I got paid today, so I'm feeling like spending some money, being generous, and also Lucy's a delight, so she deserves ice cream. How's it going, dude? Mallory bought me ice cream yesterday, which was so nice. I really needed that. I'm just like really stressed out, and I'm just like sick of being like, I've been on like the bottom end of things for so long, not so long, like 3 weeks in a row, and I'm just sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm sure I look like I'm like the joke of this entire season. It's like, how is Lucy still here? I don't know. I saw Kevin, Bailey, and Daniel in the same day, and I talked to Daniel a little bit, and he was like, "Oh, are you still like in the game, whatever?" And I was like, "Amazingly, yeah." He was like, "Really?" Like, I think he said something along so like, "I'm being honest, I didn't expect that." And I'm like, "Me neither." Did anyone expect me to get this far? No. So obviously, I have some skills. I think I've done decently in the challenges. I've held my own, shown some strategies. I feel like I've grown the most in this. Like I started off being such an idiot. Now I'm only half an idiot. I could have never foreseen that this game would have been a more than 70-day part of my life. I was totally in this for just casual, interesting, fun time. And this has really become something that could really become something. So that's
It's kind of, I mean, I don't think anyone, including myself, would have thought that I would still be in this game at this point.
Me and Mallory have a really good relationship. She doesn't fully trust me to tell me all the votes, or she doesn't really understand how the game works, or something like that. Or maybe she does. She just doesn't want to tell me because she thinks I'll do something else, which I probably would. So it makes sense. I can't be mad at her for anything she's done, but she's promised not to vote me, and I promised not to vote her. So we are still working very close together.
His personality has been scrutinized a lot, I think, and has been seen by the other players as not that desirable in an ally. And my word of advice to him was to not spend so much time attacking others so much as defending himself, because he was pretty certain he was going to go home until the whole idea to blindside Jack came about. And that didn't happen, but he clearly did not listen to that advice based on what you guys saw last night. He kind of blew up again and got really inflammatory, and I don't think that he probably hurt his case more than he helped it. Definitely hurt his case more than he helped it, as you guys saw.
That was initially supposed to be like really fake, and it was with Maggie, and then I just threw out the idea of like Mike turning on me in a second, and like I didn't tell Mike it was about to be fake because I didn't talk to Mike at all last week. And so he like actually thought it was being serious, and then started saying serious things to me, and then from there it just like rambled on into me just responding, because like he pretty much accused me of like not being trustworthy or whatever, and then so I had to like defend myself in a public manner, and yeah, it did not end well on that account.
All right, so Nick and I are meeting up. It's been a long time.
I just wanted to start it off with saying that I'm sorry. I feel like our last tribal council got really heated between us. Maybe it was just the way I felt it. Most of that was fake. I wasn't going into there planning to start shit with you or really necessarily anyone. I was just trying to get Jack not to use his idol.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate the transparency, and it's. I was never really hurt, it's all it's all a big game. It's all a lot of fun. I think for the most part, everyone here enjoys who each other we are as people. So definitely not holding anything personally, and hopefully, I think we're just gonna try and let this bygones be bygones. Move on from here.
So this is 2 weeks in a row now that Nick has been avidly trying to blow up my game. And then it's followed by a text later on in the night saying hey, I don't know what happened to us. We used to be such good friends. I really want to talk this out and clear the air. So it's like a broken record at this point.
It's weird to say this because I don't want to make it personal, but I did feel low-key hurt on a personal level, because I've said multiple times in my confessionals and just in anything I've done, I've said that I trust you and Mallory.
I think the final straw with Mike and Nick, I don't know if that relationship is, in the game at least, is destined to ever come back together. I'm kind of past the point of having this constant cycle of getting fired up and then having a fallout. And I'm not willing to, and especially given that he wrote Mike's name down again last night.
However, I do think there's an element to Nick that he'd be a good person to take to the final three, because I don't think anyone would vote for him.
All right, guys, welcome to today's challenge. First things first, Sarah, I will take it back. All right, individual immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, you guys are gonna start at this rope. You're gonna spin 7 times, run down to the end of Palmer Field, grab a tennis ball, and come back. You will then use that tennis ball to shoot it into one of those buckets. Each bucket has one of your names on it. You are shooting at the bucket of the person you want out of this challenge. Once your bucket has 5 balls in it, you are out. At that point, if you have a ball in your hand, you can come here and you get one shot at whoever's bucket you want. So if you come back here and you miss, you have to go retrieve that ball without getting in anybody's way, and then you get to keep shooting until you make it. Every time you go back to get a new ball, you have to spin 7 times, run and get 1 ball, and come back.
R.I.P.
Survivors ready? Go! Everybody is off getting their first ball. Shooting for. Goes for Mike and misses. Lucy makes it in Mike's. Lucy going back, got a spin. Jack makes it. Jack's gonna spin and head back. Mike hits, and Mike's spinning, about to go back. Nick with 3 balls in his, Mike with 1.
God damn it.
Jack hits, Jack makes the 4th ball, and Nick's. Jack gonna spin and head back. Sarah trying to get Nick his 5th and final ball. Misses. Nick gets 1 more shot, and Nick is out of this challenge. Give her that 5th ball. Mallory hits Maggie, got to spin and go back. Maggie with 4 balls. Maggie has 4 balls. Mallory hits Maggie. Maggie gets 1 last shot. Mallory on her way back. Maggie misses. Maggie is out of the challenge. And Mallory smartly picks up Maggie's ball. Sarah is shooting at Jack. Mike also has 4.
Mike has 4, you guys. Yeah, baby!
Mike, 1 more shot. Gives Mike her 5th.
Drop it.
Mike gets 1 last shot.
I don't know.
Gotta take
We
it.
got it out. Mike's gone.
And with that, Mike sinks Lucy out of the challenge. Both of them are out.
Flash shot.
Alright, we got 3 left. Jack hits Sarah. Sarah with 3. Mallory with nothing. Jack with 1. Jack shooting at Sarah. Sarah and Mallory shooting at Jack. Jack with the hierarchy. Jack hits Sarah's 4th. Sarah now with 4. Mallory shooting at Sarah. In and out. Sarah's 5th. Mallory trying to eliminate Sarah. In and out again. Sarah shoots at Jack.
Jack and Mallory.
Mallory hits Sarah. Sarah gets 1 last shot. Sarah misses, and Sarah is out of the challenge.
Whoever has the ball.
There you go.
Mallory hits.
Huh?
Mallory hits Jack's 2nd ball.
Nice move.
Mallory hits Jack's 4th.
Yeah,
We
baby.
got
Let's
1 more.
go.
That's right. Mallory shoots for Jack's last 1. Mallory hits this. She wins immunity. Mallory hits the final ball and takes immunity.
Good job, both of you. Woo.
Congratulations. Mallory safe at this week's tribal council. One of the 6 of you. This is the end of the line. Grab your stuff. Head on out. Good night.
Last week, I was riding high. I was so cocky. I'm like, I'm gonna get to the end in all these different scenarios. I was laying out all different possible ways. It's like, there's no way that these people are gonna turn on me. It's so weird not having Sam around anymore. Like,
I know.
Like, it was us three from the beginning.
It was.
And yeah, honestly, like, at least for a while, I trusted him a lot.
Yeah.
And I understand what he did. I probably would have done the same thing if the situation was reversed, but just not tell anybody about those idols.
Yeah. So if he does play his idol, it would be because he wants to have a clean slate and to gain our trust back. But if he doesn't play it this week, then next week we're just gonna split it on him and he's gonna have to play it, and then he just have to win challenges the rest of the time.
And I think that playing it this week, even if I'm not, like, probably getting my name written down, it kind of could be a show of loyalty to Sarah, Mike, and Matt, and Mallory, that, I'm kind of like erasing maybe the sins of my past, like getting out like these things I've lied about, like I'm gonna be like an open book now. Even if you bring me to the Final Four, I think that puts you in a really good position to just say like, hey, Jack's the biggest threat.
Yeah.
Get him out then. I don't know. I just wanted to stay around as long as possible.
I know.
I think there's much more potential for me to make it to the end game if I stay with Sarah, Mike, and Mallory, because they seem like kind of the more, I don't know, people were just kind of playing a more straight up game. Like, I know even Mallory, like, hasn't even, like, seen the game of Survivor before, and, like, she's kind of saying, like, yeah, like, I think it would just be, like, great for us to all be in the end together.
You don't even know, like, I seriously am thinking that I want you at the end with now. Cause like we both make moves, but like we don't have the exact same path.
Yeah, we don't.
Like we have different things we could talk about, and then it's
you
just
had
like
to
what
save
they
me.
actually
Like
think.
it's not like.
So my ideal plan is to get Maggie out this week for Jack to play the idol on himself, to get Jack out next, to get Nick out after that, and then to win the challenge at 4 and get Mike out.
I think right now it's probably gonna be Maggie. It could possibly still be Nick. We're gonna meet later today to kind of like finalize that. Like I don't know why people see me as such a threat when
I
you've
don't
been
know. I don't know.
I mean, honestly,
I feel like
done,
we've done equal,
we've
at
done
least equal things. I also think Jack is a little overrated, to be honest. Like, what has he done that makes him so much better than everyone else? I don't understand. I'm such a villain. I suck.
Here with the champion, Mallory. She got it. Oh, she's not wearing it. Anyway.
I got so disgustingly sweaty all over the place. That was kind of gross. Wow, I cannot believe that I actually won a challenge. That's pretty crazy. I don't want to sound self-deprecating all the time, but I mean, I really don't have a lot of expectations going into most of these things.
Trying to figure out where we're at. It's not as easy as you'd think. Because Jack's gonna play his idol.
And we're thinking that we kind of have Jack's loyalty, at least for a week, because of what happened last time. And we're thinking that maybe out of loyalty or out of a sign of allegiance or whatever, he might vote Maggie if he's told to, which could be a big move for us.
Why in the hell would Jack ever use his idol if every person in the game is telling him he's safe? Yes, he can use it just because maybe he doesn't trust us, or maybe he wants to show you his trust. But why in the fuck would he do it if he actually thinks he's safe? If he thinks he's safe, he's never gonna use the idol because he knows you just targeted him the first round, Sarah. Everyone else targeted him before. Oh my god. It just makes no sense. You guys told him last minute. Why would he use it if he doesn't think he's in danger? Why? You have to make him paranoid enough to think he's in danger, and no one's doing that. Not a single person is doing that. They're all telling them he's safe. So he's not going to fucking use his idol, and you can bet that now that he won't use his idol, and you can say, I'm the only one who thought that, because every other person in the fucking game is stupid.
Because I think he kind of sees that as payment for us saving his behind last week.
Yeah.
So I as of now, I think he's still gonna play it. He met with Maggie yesterday, so I have no idea how that conversation went.
I have no idea how that conversation went. For some reason, Sarah went for Jack before Lucy at some point. I saw Sarah looking back and watching Jack, so clearly she doesn't trust Jack and doesn't want him at the end of the game, and Jack should be wary of that. But he's not.
I have a feeling what her plan is to like get Jack to use the title this week and get rid of Maggie, then get rid of Jack, and then try to use me and Lucy to get rid of Mike, and then she's in the final four with me, you, Lucy. But I had a conversation with Sarah. I don't know why I had this conversation with Sarah. I was just kind of throwing out anything and everything at that point. And Jack's ignoring me, so I had a conversation with Sarah. Sarah pretty much was like, yeah, so like, I think I could beat Jack at the end. I don't understand why everyone's lying to me about my game. I feel like it's clear that, like, there are many big threats still in the game. Like, I think...
Who do you think are big threats?
I definitely think Jack is a huge threat. I think Mike is a big threat. And then, potentially even Mallory is a big threat.
Okay.
She will
Do you
probably...
think I'm a threat?
To an extent, but, like, I would put you in the same category as, like, Mallory type of threat. So,
why?
Just because you guys have both, like, been more in the background and have, like, you guys have voted in the right way, but, like, and she was like, I really want to work with you, but I can't say anything to you till Maggie's gone, so maybe we can work together next week. What? Then why the fuck did you even agree to have this conversation? You could have just texted me and told me, no, I'm just voting out Maggie this week, and maybe we can work together next week, but I don't trust it right now because I know you're close to Maggie, and I don't want to say anything that gets back to Maggie, and I'm sorry, but I don't trust it. Why couldn't you have just told me that instead of making me waste my time? I literally, like, went late to work to have this conversation with you, and all you were saying is that let's work together next week. I don't know, I feel like Jack and Mike have been in the...
No, but I feel like I've, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just, like, I, like, act like I'm more in the background, but I do feel like...
no, I'm not, I'm not trying to say,
Yeah,
I'm not trying to, like, discredit your game. I just think...
I'm just, like, curious how
No,
see it.
yeah, I just think if you made it...
Am I in everyone's final three plan? I don't understand. Like, I'm not like Lucy. Whatever.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah. You are the greatest help in the entire game. I can't believe I haven't sucked your dick yet like everyone else. You are so helpful, and I love everything you say. Oh my god. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
I'm so annoyed at everyone just saying 700,000 things.
Okay, well, why aren't you annoyed at Maggie? She also went against you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so why are you more with
because
her?
I'm on the bottom with Maggie too.
No, you're not at the bottom. I'm telling you right now that you're not at the bottom. Lucy.
I really think
Lucy.
I've been at the bottom, and the only reason people keep me is because they think I'm just super easy to get out. So as soon as I get stuff, the only reason you guys would bring me to the final four is so you could vote me out and be the final three.
No.
That's exactly it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Like,
no, it's not.
I'm literally
Lucy,
everyone's. I'm literally everyone's. Oh, she'll be easy to get out, so we should just stick her around because she listens to anything anyone says, and then we can vote her out.
That's not from my perspective. I think from my perspective, people want you in the final three because you played a very different game from everyone, and people don't like going to the end with people who they've played the same game with.
But then Sarah was telling me that I'm actually not on the bottom, and that she wants me in the final four with her, and then eventually to the final three. I don't know if I believe or not. Like, I always feel like I'm on the bottom, and I don't know if I am or not, but I guess I'm not. I always think I am. I think people just, like, literally string me along because they know they can get rid of me. Just, like, literally the only reason I'm here. I just feel like I'm the idiot of the. You're not. Like, I feel like I'm gonna look at these videos and they're just gonna be like, how is Lucy still here? Like, how actually?
Well,
how
Lucy,
am I still
you know
here?
what would be dumb? Helping Jack win. That is stupid.
That's stupid. But I feel like I'm going home anyway.
You're
so
not.
You might as well help the winner.
You're not. Alright, my meeting with Lucy just proved that nobody on the other side knows how to think ahead, because if they think that we're actually trying to take Jack to the final three, then they're stupid. Like, yes, we saved him because I had to, because Sam was going to turn people against me next week. Like...
How do you start every video, apparently?
Hey guys, we're here at Espresso Royale.
From my understanding, we're still going all for Maggie. Like, all in. Like, I met with Nick, and I told you guys how that went. I met with Lucy, she yelled at me in the beginning. I think I kind of, like, got through to her a little bit at the end, but I'm not sure what she's doing tonight. I don't know what the other side is doing. I've heard a lot. I feel like I've heard, like... I feel like it's me or Jack are going.
before, probably. Yeah.
So I think Maggie is feeling pretty betrayed after the last vote, and so I'm pretty sure she's got some revenge on the mind.
She's been texting me like pretty like incessantly. Actually, just like, wait, do this, like don't trust them, like blah 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 blah. And I'm just kind of like, Maggie, like I'm sorry. Like,
She's just gonna throw a lot of stuff and see what maybe sticks.
I don't have a plan. I think my only hope is that my props sway over Jack or Mallory. I think it's unlikely, but it's fine. And if I'm going home, like I'm gonna just cause hell in this tribal, spill everything that I know, which isn't much, but yeah, I'm gonna make it dramatic. People will regret doing this.
The truth is, I have been completely honest with you.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like
Out of anybody,
I'm saying like
in
my
the same-
reactions that like the moves that I
But
made.
that's like my one thing that I really hope you realize is the only thing that I've lied to you about was that this entire game.
I can't say the same.
I suggested he plays idol for me, which would be really ironic.
And I know that's like a really shocking thing, but aren't you all about big moves?
I am. It's a lot to think about. I don't want to move. I made too many gut moves in this game, and they fucked me over. So I want to think about it before I commit to anything.
What has fucked you over?
Just like my gut reaction. Like I found the idol. I'm like, I'm gonna tell Sam. Just things like that.
Yeah.
Just.
But I do think he would win jury votes if he did it. People will, I don't know, that's a big move, and that's a really selfless move. And players in the game who, have a heart for stuff like that will definitely, want to vote for someone who does something like that.
Alright, and now welcoming in the members of our jury, we have Reid, Abby, and Sam voted out in the last final. Showing up in style. I like it. Alright guys, welcome to your next tribal council. A couple of you really dressed up for it, I appreciate that. But Jack, I guess we'll start with you. How does it feel coming off the last tribal, being so close to voted out? Where do you go from here?
Yeah, I was definitely in a state of shock, like for a few days afterward that last tribal, but my whole world came kind of crashing on me. But so now I just kind of had to reestablish like where I am in the game and like how I'm playing this game and who I want to like play the game with, I guess.
Maggie, kind of on the opposite side of that, got left out of the vote last week. What do you do this week to try to stay safe?
What do you do this week? I don't really know. You watch the Michigan Wolverines lose the national championship. You make a scene as always. You talk to everyone and you give everyone all the information you have on your way out. Hopefully prevent certain people from winning.
Who would those certain people be?
That'd be Sarah, right here. Yeah.
Sarah, any reaction to that?
This is a game. Don't take it so personally.
Just because it's a game doesn't mean I can't be dramatic.
Yeah,
That
you
is
can be dramatic,
my
but
game, right?
I think that
Wait, if you're like saying I'm taking it personally, it seems like you're taking it personally.
how am I taking it personally?
Because you're telling me not to take it personally.
That
Like,
doesn't make
don't
any
you know,
sense.
I've been playing a dramatic game this entire time. If anything, this should be exactly what you'd expect.
I know, but there's a difference between being dramatic and taking it personally and saying that you're going to turn the entire jury against you, thinking that you actually have that power, and just saying mean things in general.
Yeah, I think that when you're in my position and you're probably going home, like part of my game and part of my power as someone going home is that I do get to talk to the jury, and in addition to that, I do get to be mad at you.
Okay.
So I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings.
No, my feelings aren't hurt.
Okay, then I'm not
scared. It's fine.
I've never asked you to be scared or wanted you to be.
Alright.
That's cool.
Kind of a random question off of that, though, but Mike, you and Nick maybe doing a little bit of that at the last couple tribals. Where are you two at these days?
Yeah, I mean, Nick and I, exchanged some words last week. I don't think we're on horrible terms. At some point, nothing overly drastic really happened. I'm not sure where Nick's at on the situation, but not to keep using their word, but I don't really take it personally, and I don't know if Nick does, but hopefully we can kind of move on a little bit.
Nah, most of that was a show. I was told by everyone that they were all voting Jack, so my only hope was to make sure Jack didn't use the idol. So anyone who spoke to me was going to get a blunt answer real quick. And yeah, it just happens that they told Jack 30 minutes before he was going that he was fine.
So yeah, Nick obviously left out of last vote as well. What do you do this week to try to keep your name off the chopping block?
It's an interesting spot because I've been on the bottom of many votes at this point. I've said what I've said and I've made my case to many people, and at this point of the game, people are just going to have to realize that there aren't that many numbers and that people are going to have to start making moves and start doing something, because there are people who are major jury threats and can win the game easily, and at this point everyone has to be aware of that. And so I just gotta play off that and see what happens.
All right, another topic of conversation. Jack obviously wearing the immunity idol around his neck. There was talk about you playing it at this tribal, both at last tribal and the challenge. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so the news leaked last week that I have 2 idols, so I had to get rid of one last week, and I was really kind of thinking about it, and I'm just like, my first 10 weeks or whatever in this game, I kind of lied a lot, tried to do too many different things to too many different people. I think that me just being straightforward with this, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. I'm just trying to be I want to absolve myself from my sins. Maybe just give this up. If you want to vote me out next week, I'll be free to vote out. But I just kind of want to make a play that I don't have anything more in my bag of tricks, I guess.
And a bag of tricks too, Coop. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna get the bag of tricks.
The floor is yours.
So, it's pretty clear I'm gonna go home this week. So I have a few parting gifts. So where do I begin? Okay. Here's for you to keep your fire alive. Here's another idol for you.
Thank you.
And you'll always be my survivor hubby. So here's a ring. For you, some nuts because you're nuts to work with Sarah. For you get a golden necklace because chances are both of you are going to make it all the way. You get this journal to remind you that you need to know the rules and not let them take advantage of that. And for you, also, here's a knife, here's a knife, here's a knife. So this way, when Sarah stabs you in the back, you have one for her. And you get a choke, because I hope you choke. And what else do I have? Oh, you also get some matches in case that doesn't work. And my favorite rock. So that's all I have in my bag of tricks.
Well, I'll go to Sarah after that. Sarah, any thoughts on what just happened there?
No. It's just Maggie being Maggie.
Mallory, did you like your gifts?
I love my gifts. I mean, coloring, free journal. that's great. Practical. Can use
manage them inside and outside the game, I guess. I don't know. I'm whelmed again.
Lucy, thoughts on the gifts that you and Mallory received?
Yeah, I think it just goes to show, like, me and Mallory, I mean, everyone wants us to go to the final three because they just think that they can just beat me and Mallory. They're just seeing us as, like, get us to the final three, so there's only one clear winner. But once again, I think people have been underestimating me and Mal this entire season. I mean, we're still here. There's a reason we're here. Mallory won a challenge. I get to win. I almost won multiple times. So yeah, I think you only need to win one challenge and that's the final one.
Alright, then I guess on that is on the vote. Mike, that's first.
Okay. Thanks for the gifts.
So, it's not personal, but this is my only vote for Sarah because I'm not gonna vote for her if she wins. Well, if she has a chance to win. So, that's what I have to say. It's been great. Shout out to all my fans. Bye.
This one breaks my heart.
Alright, I'll go tally the votes. Alright, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I don't have anything clever to say this time, just gonna get this cursed thing away from me.
Alright. The rules of Survivor state that if somebody plays a hidden immunity idol, all votes cast against that person will not count. This is a hidden immunity idol. All votes cast for Jack will not count. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Sarah. Maggie. Maggie. 2 votes Maggie, 1 vote Sarah. Maggie. Twelfth person voted out, 5th member of our jury. Maggie, that's 4, that's enough. Everyone in your torch. Maggie, try this vote. Time to go.
And I just want to say that I'm going to take my fire with me. Have fun. Good luck.
And that is how you make an accident. Grab your stuff. Head out. Alright. Good save.
Oh, I just had so much fun playing, and yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. And I don't know who I'm gonna vote for, but yeah, I was not surprised at all by what happened in there.
I feel like I probably made the wrong decision in playing my idol last night. I kind of instantly regretted it. I'm like, I'm gonna go out this week, but like, you know what? Final 6 is a good accomplishment, and I'm happy to be here, and I think I have a lot of room to maneuver.
What I want to say real quick is like,
there's a non-zero chance I think that Nick found an idol at that challenge, just because like I saw my idol like sitting out earlier, like when Coop put it down, and just like it was on top of the pizza box, and then like I was thought about like making a joke like, oh, I'm just gonna like take it right back, and then like I came back into the room after like one of the like times I saw it was gone from on top of the pizza box, and maybe I was just like too paranoid, but like I was looking at Nick, and like he seemed like he had something like chunky in his pocket.
I decided to vote out Maggie because everyone was voting out Maggie. Anyways, I kind of wanted to split it just in case Jack used the idol, or Jack didn't use the idol, but no one wanted to do that with me. They were all so sure Jack would use the idol, and really, Jack fucking used it. I'm shook. He's so dumb. He had zero reason to use it. Not a single vote went towards him.
Maggie knew what was going on beforehand. It kind of seemed like everyone had a pretty general consensus. From what we've seen, it might have been a unanimous vote for everyone but Maggie, who voted for Sarah.
I saw Sam roll his eyes at it. That was a great time. He used his idol. Maggie went home, and I'm kind of really happy because that puts me in a great spot.
But she also gave me her little journal that when we had met, which we didn't film accidentally, oops, she had written out some sort of game plans that she had drawn up in this journal, which I can show you. It's in this little guy. It's a really nice journal, moleskin. Not really sure why she gave it to me, but yeah, she's got all sorts of things written out in this that I have kept to myself. I promised I wouldn't share with anyone, so you got a little flash there, but
I was like, I'm gonna stay calm unless Maggie starts going at me, and then in which case I'm gonna fight back. I can be bitchy if I want to, so you know, she was being mean to me, so I gave her some of my shade.
I was amazed at how sad it was to see her go. I mean, she's kind of been this constant character throughout the game, and I'm sure that she's gonna be a fan favorite when this all comes out. So I miss Maggie. She was an awesome person to play with. I also can't lie and say that I don't feel a little more at ease now that she's not in the game, because she's so unpredictable and so powerful and so smart that it makes life complicated and maybe challenging. So
Who do you want? I'm thinking Jack, right? If we can.
Jack if we can. If Jack wins, then Nick.
Oh, yes, and then Nick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I am not voting for Jack. I promised him I wouldn't write his name down ever unless it was for final tribal council and I was in the jury and he was one of the final ones. And I'm keeping that promise, because if I actually say that I promise, then like I'm gonna keep that promise. And that promise was the only reason he even played the idol last tribal, so it had to happen and I'm gonna keep my word.
I don't know. It's just like my strategy. I'm just like thinking back at it now. I feel like the social connections I made like really, really solid connections, but I'm kind of scared now that I didn't make enough connections with everybody.
Alright guys, welcome to your next challenge. First things first, Mallory, I will take it back. Thank you. Alright, individual immunity is back up for grabs. For today's challenge, you each will have your own station with a 5x6 empty grid currently. There is another grid that is filled in on the main floor of Mason Hall. You guys will all run down there. There will be words that you will have to memorize and put back in the correct square with the right color and the right spelling. First person to finish their grid correctly will win this challenge. Another twist, the colors you'll be using will be set out in the middle here. There are only 2 colored pencils of each color. Once you've used that color that you want, return it to the middle and grab the next color that you need. But you can't hoard colored pencils, you can only hold one at a time. We'll draw for spots and get started. For immunity, survivors ready, go!
Nick, incorrect. Lucy, incorrect again. Mike wins immunity. Got it. All right, Mike, come and get it. Congratulations.
I wouldn't quite like watching a man put a necklace on her.
There we go. All right, congratulations, Mike. Safe at this week's tribal council. It means one of the 5 of you. This is the end of the line. Grab your stuff, head on out. Good night.
We don't only talk about this in my professional.
You know, this is the first time in about like 2 months, that might be an exaggeration, but it's the first time in a long time that I've woken up. I haven't had an idol in my pocket. So I just feel like they have to put it back out there. I don't know. And Nick was acting kind of suspicious. He might have found a clue or something at Tribal at Challenge last night.
Okay, so when we were walking down the stairs after leaving, we were all in a group, and I see this like paper, and like I don't even know how it caught my like attention, but I saw like idol clue, and I was like, and I like turned back, and then I was like literally about to go to everyone, and like be like, oh my god, there's an idol clue, and then as I was like literally like this, like I see Nick just like rip it down and shove it in his pocket and like keep walking like so nonchalantly, and I was like, I look at him and I like give him the eyes like I know what I just saw, and so like he like walks out and I like walk out with him, and I was like, you better share that with me because like we both saw it, and so he was like, do you think anyone else saw it? And I was like, no, because they would have said something. So we like look at it, and it's like very clearly the clue was like going for big house.
All right, out here searching for the clue. Oh, should we tell them we're like in between the stadium and the thing? It's a necklace, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thinking about it now I don't have the energy to like look through like every tree in this. I said I don't have the energy to look through every tree in this place.
And I was like, oh my god, my friend has a car, I'm gonna go get it. And Nick was like, can I come with you? I should have just said no. I don't know, I was just really pumped about finding it, and I was like, yeah.
Can't see, I don't have a flashlight anymore.
Oh. Lucy, I think this is it.
We have found it. I'm just really pumped that I found it.
What? Yes.
Can I wear it?
Yeah, you can wear it for a second. I want to take it because I need it for. I want to be cocky in my confessionals.
But I want it too.
Well, I want it. We can do it. We can do a confessional together.
I don't want it actually. I just want to wear it. I just wanted to bring it to my friends.
Here's all the rules. I don't know if we should read all the rules.
So me and Nick both got in it, and then we were talking, and I was like, I feel pretty safe getting to the final four. Where I just feel like Nick wasn't really sure, like, you know, he was like up in the air, and I would like Nick there, so I thought like he needed it more so he can get the idol. I just wanted to find it to just be like, I found the idol, I can do things.
Oh shit, the last time you can use it, there's 5 survivors left.
Yeah, so
what
this
are we
is
at? 7?
6. So it's this round or next?
I honestly think we should just mess with everyone and just play it next week, and it'll be so funny.
Yeah.
We just throw it out there and we give it to someone. What if we're like, oh my god, me and Nick are gonna play it, and then we're just like, Mallory, you get the idol this week, and everyone will just be like, what? It'll be so fun.
If it's easy, like if it's an easy jack vote this week though, we could probably just keep it next week and then just use it. Because I don't want it like going back and play at Final 5 and then someone finding it at Final 5 and like blowing it up against us.
True.
Probably better to keep it if we think we're safe.
All right, we're gonna have to strategize. I need like an hour, couple hours to think about this. I'm so hyped right now.
Yes.
No, now I can get a good angle because it's stopped.
Alright guys, Professor Nick here, ready to school you on how to play Survivor. I have 3 basic lessons on my lesson plan today. The first one, never give up. The second, fight for yourself. And 3, build up your bots.
But I was like, so what do you think Nick's case is in the final 3? And the more I've thought about it, the more I think it's a very compelling case. He's actually had alliances with most of the people in the jury.
Sarah doesn't trust me at all. I don't trust her at all. She's easily the person who would most likely win the game in the end. And she's dangerous and scary, overly cocky, confident, and thinks she has this game on lock.
Yeah, he has to go.
But for her plans to work out, she needs me. And that's just that, and I'm gonna use that to my advantage.
Yeah, I think he's a bigger threat than we think. Like, he doesn't really have much of a, great game to really report on, but the relationships and the fact that he has good ones. He never had to vote any of these people out. He just happens to be like the lone survivor of the group. So
Mallory and I would vote for Lucy, and Sarah and Jack would vote for Nick. I don't think it's really in our best interest the more I've thought about it. I don't think either of them have an idol, so there's really no point of even splitting.
So first things first, I think me and Nick are safe with no one knowing about the idol. I met with Sarah and she mentioned it, but it sounded to more like Jack was worried about it because Jack is he's really into the game and he knows that you guys definitely put an idol out there. Sarah thinks that idol clue is coming in the challenge. Yeah.
What are you
because,
thinking?
Oh no, Jack needs to go.
Okay.
It's the first thought. And then I'm close with Nick, but I mean Nick can get if needed, Yeah. I talked to Mallory. Mallory has no clue. She doesn't even think an idol's coming out. She's like, they wouldn't do that. I was like, no, they did it.
The other option is just to vote Jack. There's no doubt he's a target and a threat in this game. If he made it to the final 3, everyone really likes him. Definitely, at least as a person, a lot of people have worked with him, and there's a lot of Ohana as well that I'm sure would be happy to vote for him. It's kind of weirdly simply on the grounds that he's Ohana. So I think Jack is our best move this week. I think that's inevitably who's going to go home.
Jack texted me this morning. He was like, I had a dream that Nick pulled out a vote steal advantage and voted you out, and I was sobbing in the dream, and I was like, that's so sad. I know Jack has to go, but I don't want him to go, but he has to go. Same with Mike. And the good thing is I don't think that's enough time for someone to find an idol.
Yeah. I just wish they'd send out a clue so I can be searching.
Yeah.
Just try to find.
Got the idol. So hyped. Have to give it back to Nick tomorrow. I don't want the idol. I'm really scared about it. I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a plan tomorrow. I can't even talk about it. I don't even need a confessional. I am just so hyped that I got this. I can show everyone that I can do it. We found it. I'm just gonna go show all my friends.
I'm here in the middle making all the moves. Putting myself in the spot where I'm pretty much guaranteed final 3. Look, Mike goes home. Who's gonna vote me out? Not Mallory. I have a tie there. Lucy says she won't vote me out. Lucy knows Sarah's more threatening, so not there. The only way I get voted out there is if Sarah wins immunity and then Lucy votes me. But even then, I still have a tie. I will always have that tie. Okay, what if we get rid of Sarah? Get rid of Sarah, then what happens? Then Mike and Mallory and me are there. The only way I get voted out is if Mike wins or Lucy wins immunity, then what happens? Mallory might vote me, but she promised not to. So I should still be good. Mike would definitely vote me, but Lucy's connection with me is still safe. So I'm good there too. And so while it would have been awesome to have Maggie's vote this week, you guys don't understand just how good of a spot I've put myself in. I'm almost guaranteed final 3 at this point.
If
if, Jack gets voted out this week, obviously not with my help. I obviously, wouldn't have anything to do with it. Not really, I would, but anyways, let's say Jack gets voted out this week, then I'm the only Ohana left, and I'm just sad.
But I've been feeling kind of conflicted about it, honestly. I'm not sure I want to write Jack's name down either. Having Jack be on the jury, knowing that I didn't vote for him, I think might do something good for my case, maybe, for his vote.
The current plan is that there's going to be a 2-2 split for our 4 on Nick and Lucy, and I'm scared that there might be an idol and an advantage or something. I don't know. This is the first time in a long time that I haven't had some sort of power in my pocket that I could use at the last second. So I'm definitely the most vulnerable I've ever been.
Alright guys, welcome to Tribal Council once again. Jack, we will start with you this time. Obviously you played an idol at last Tribal Council. Any part of you wish you still maybe had that in your pocket this week?
Yeah, of course, I immediately regretted it as soon as I played it, just because I had that safety with me for so long. I woke up the next morning, it was the first time I didn't have some sort of idol for this since week 4. So it was sad, but I still feel like in doing so that I was able to kind of secure a really good bond with people and to say hey, I don't have any more tricks up my sleeve. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt. But I guess I just had to go with my decision now. I guess I don't really regret it that much. I think that I've kind of made my position clear in the game at least.
Nick, any thoughts on threats at this point? Are people talking about big threats? Who are people thinking is a threat to win this game?
I think threats are just the talk in general at this point. It's been a talk for a while now, and everyone's trying to figure out who's gonna win if they make it to the end, and who the jury actually respects and who they don't.
Lucy, no jury members with us today, but are people talking about who they might be voting for in the end, or try to do some jury management at this point?
That's definitely something I'm starting to think about, at least. It's kind of where I would stand compared to everyone else. But I think it really comes down to who's going to end up in the final 3. And you never really know who's been actually talking to who the entire time. I think the jury members have their own ideas, and I feel like they could see the games we've played, which also comes down to that.
Sarah, have we gotten to the point in the game where even the closest alliances are being tested? Because now it's about who do you want to bring to the end.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have different ideas about who they want to go to the end with, but there's a lot of overlap amongst that, and so that's kind of where it's at right now. You're working with the people who agree with you on going to the end.
So Mike, I guess back to the jury. Is that kind of the big factor in decision making at this point? Who to vote out, who the jury is going to like, or who do you think might vote for you on the jury?
For me, I'm trying to just figure out what the best way is for me to get to the final 3. Trying to keep the jury in back in my mind, but it's not the forefront of what I'm trying to do.
So Mallory, Mike brings up a good point. You still have to get to the final 3. So does that make alliances still super important in this game?
I think relationships are something that I've placed a lot of value on. I think that is the sole reason why I have made it to this point. So I think that keeping alliances strong is a really important part of this game still, even though numbers are starting to dwindle. But numbers are still a factor in every vote by definition. So I think it's really important to be aware of that and manage those relationships.
So Lucy, I asked Jack about idols earlier. Is there talk about idols at this point, or now that Jack played it, not really?
Yeah, there's no one has an idol, so I feel like there's definitely one out there, something. I don't know, you guys make me so nervous. I hate idols so much. Yeah.
I like them. I think they're fun.
Keeping things interesting, definitely. I don't know though. I think it causes a lot of paranoia.
Sarah, are people worried about challenge threats at this point? Trying to maybe take them out when they can, or is that not really on people's minds?
Well, It seems like the pattern has been that no one has won more than once for individual immunity challenges, so...
You're due.
What?
So Lucy's due for this challenge.
Yeah, Lucy's due to win one.
I'm due too.
Yeah. Oh, and Jack. Yeah, no one's won.
Alright, fair enough. There we go. And with that, it is time to vote. Sarah, you're up first.
You're not actually going home unless Jack miraculously has another idol.
I'm really sorry, bud. Total backstab move. It's awful.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. I feel like I've done this too many times.
Alright, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Jack. Nick. Nick. Jack. Jack. 13th person voted out in the 6th member of our jury. Jack, it's 4-0.
I've been bamboozled.
Jack, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go. Alright guys, congratulations on being the final 5. It's a huge accomplishment, but there's a lot more game to play. Grab your stuff, head on out. Good night. On the season finale of Survivor Michigan.
I mean, I don't think it's going to get to a draw rock situation, so...
Sarah has never been in the position where she's been blindsided completely. Sarah has always had control, or like some sort of control going on.
It's just, my meeting with Mallory is very important. I have to get her on board like completely.
I do think that feelings are gonna play a part in the game for sure.
This is something I've been wanting for my entire life. This is the closest thing I'll ever get.
Alright, I'll go tally the votes. The winner of Survivor Michigan, Leaders and Best.
Well, I guess I shouldn't have played my idol last week. I don't know who ended up voting for Maggie. If I assume, I feel like Sarah probably voted for Nick and versus Julian voted for me. It's been such a great experience though. I guess.
Pleasure in doing this. But it's time, to get my friend Tickles. Gonna miss going to Chipotle, man. But you're too good of a player, and this was too good of an opportunity to pass up. So no hard feelings, and yeah, wish you the best, man.